Okay, give me a second. Let me share my screen.
Yep.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So, one of the things that we wanted to kind of start with was sometimes crypto feels like a big battalion. When you join servers, there are like lots of people, different skill sets, different kind of caliber across where they are in their journey in crypto, and may or may not be as efficient. And, one of the things with the syndicate is that it's a much smaller group, and you get a chance to actually meet people, and kind of understand each other and figure out how you kind of where your skill sets are and who are the people who are good at certain things, and go from there. So the way we see it is more like, and I know that there's a syndicate agent, but like almost a special ops unit, which are smaller teams with specialized skill sets, and then if you look at it, and we try to mirror it off a special ops unit, you need information and intel to do stuff. You need to make sure that people have your back, but you also need like specialized gear, which is tailored and customized for your needs, right? And part of what we want to do with the arsenal and some of the set is to say, how do we help in this space of making sure we bring out information that's needed for everybody here to take decisions, figure out what needs to happen, and also build tools and capabilities that help you in your journey and what you're doing in crypto, NFTs, coins, and everything else, right? Um, so if I go back to the syndicate, and I think the four pillars are the arsenal, the boardroom, training ground, and the war chest. What we're covering today is really around the arsenal, which is ability or tools that we're building around bots, uh, R&D in terms of information, portfolio analysis, wallet tracking, curation of daily, weekly reports. Now, this stuff is not all in place right now, and part of it is what we're looking to build over time. And towards the end of it, I'll again kind of ask for volunteers, but we're definitely, we see this as a community effort where people help out and help with some of these things, but we're also building out, let's call it, trackers and capabilities that will help everybody. Who are the people? Well, this was an older kind of whimsical slide. So while it says Onsdroid and Dumplings, I think there are quite a few people now who are helping us to build this. So I think just as context, I've had the opportunity to build ventures in real life. So I have an understanding of how to build products, how to kind of set up a product roadmap, work through steps of what we do with it. I've been in crypto across NFTs, part of Neo Tokyo, Kongs, Anonymize, a bunch of groups. And across that, I'm trying to see where are the problems that we all face and how do we kind of solve them here. Dumplings, I think he's on the phone. I don't know if he can speak up, but he's our lead dev, and he's really the guy behind bringing a lot of the ideas that we have to life. And like I said, there are more people involved, and we'll kind of do a longer list separately as well of who's helping us as well. Dumplings, do you want to speak up now, or not sure if you're still walking the dog?
No, I'm walking the dog and happy to speak. Not much to say beyond, yeah, I'm your lead dev for all of you. And I've had close to a decade experience from being a front end engineer to back end to full stack. And now I'm a director of product at a small startup. So at a much smaller scale, my pace of movement is usually a lot faster. And in fact, I'm actually putting more operational systems in place for Syndicate to scale than I usually do with my real jobs. But I'm excited to build fast and make money with the rest of the agents, right? But I won't be speaking much during this call. If you guys have any technical questions around the tools or any feature requests that you feel like you need my input, I'll pipe in. But other than that, I'll be in the background just listening to Owen's talk. All right. See you guys.
Awesome. So
If I can just
just
say something, if you guys have question, you can just put them in the no mic, and we'll be happy to answer those right after. So don't hesitate to write those up, and we'll read this through the AMA. Let's go ahead, Andres.
awesome. So The way we look at it is there are a few areas that I think people are interested in when it comes to crypto, right? NFTs, tokens, looking at in-game assets, liquidity pools, DeFi. Some people may be interested in coding, mental health. So we've kind of taken that and then said, okay, how do we look at which of those areas are really important to people right now? And I think the current area of focus for us is NFTs. While we recognize the other ones, we'll work through them slowly. Then we're saying, how do we solve these problems, right? So what's the objective that we are trying to solve? But some could be quick fixes and some could be more strategic. So we'll then prioritize that across a set of things, saying how do we fix this quickly. And then when it comes to prioritizing things, we're basically saying it should be like an activity which is either difficult or time consuming for you. So in a way, we want to see we either save you time, help you make money faster, it's important to you, and with what we can do, it's not a very complex solution. So we're looking to work through areas which help either save you time, make money, and kind of get product out there quickly. So like this was a kind of quick mind map of what do we think people are interested in when we start. And this is not a comprehensive list, but like how do I manage the money I have, or how do I make more money? So that goes into like how should I buy in secondary, where can I get whitelist, how should I manage my whitelist process? Can I get a template, automated? How profitable am I? How much did I pay in gas, commission? Am I really making money or losing money? Can I get guidance from skilled traders on risk management, position sizing? Tell me about the market. What's happening to the NFT market? What's happening to ETH? What plays where? Early alpha and so forth, right? So taking this as what members or syndicate agents would want, we then said, okay, if we take out those blocks of things that I'd listed out as NFTs, token, and so forth, like what if we expanded one of them, right? So within NFTs, we're saying, help me manage my whitelist process end to end. So, when we started off, we realized that while there were a variety of members, a lot of them were starting off with smaller capital amounts. And, one of the areas that they could kind of really work on efficiently was if they get whitelist, they make sure that they kind of manage their whitelist process well end to end. And then how do we make sure they don't miss the date of minting, miss the date of providing wallet address, the steps along the way, and so forth, right? So we've then kind of broken down and said, help me find whitelist. How do I apply for it on Twitter, through the syndicate? How do I grind on a server, check for mint date? And again, more advanced things like bots or analytical tools and so on and so forth. So not everything comes on day one, but we're starting to build constructs which will help us say what we want to build from here, right? And then what we're saying, if I go down this one, is like if we then said, okay, whitelist game is important, let's prioritize that as the first kind of product that we're looking to build. And then we kind of broke this into like what problems are we solving, how are we solving them, what's the feature, product release, community feedback, create a loop. And then if you go within the whitelist game, we've broken it into like 8 steps or like 4 blocks in a way. So the first one is finding whitelist. I think this one's like generally for now either done by people, or in this case, outreach team within syndicate brings in whitelist, right? People apply for the whitelist, they win it, but there's still steps around getting the role, submitting the wallet, minting minting the item, and even the decision of whether to mint or not, right? So we've then taken that and said, in each of those phases, what are the jobs to be done when it comes to like solving problems? Again, not everything comes day one, but like just recognizing that people are saying, or users may want like customized alerts, so that help me create an alert in Discord, email, or webhook, and we haven't decided the format, right? Because there's just too much noise coming. How do I make sure I don't miss something? Help me automate steps where possible, because like there's just so many steps and I just like it's a waste of time. If we go into like the next block, like when, right? So help me track when I need to do something. So like now you need to submit your address, or now is the time to mint. Help me understand how to do it, right? So like many times just to find out how to submit your address, they're like something could be a link, something could be a submission in a channel, something could be somewhere else, and it's just like painful, right? So we've taken each of these blocks with lots of stuff, and then tried to build that into what we want for the project and how it needs to happen, and then working with if I can make this work, working with dumplings, we've actually built like a Kanban board, which actually tracks what we're building, goes through stages of like not started, in progress, staging, completed, and something in staging or needs to be checked. Like we have a process now of how we check it, right, and what's happening where. So all of this is great, but like I'm sure you're saying, what does that really mean? So we're very close to actually coming out with the first tool, which is upcoming mint and whitelist tracker. If you look at this screen, what it shows you is a list of projects, and we'll find out how to either source this from somewhere or manually create it through the community effort. But we would have a list of projects. You can see what the pre-sale amount is, public sale, when is it minting, and in some cases, like like undead blocks. Like I would have missed it. Actually, I have a whitelist for it, but like it's happening in 10 hours from now. You get links to the website, Twitter, Discord, if there was a raffle. The way it will work, if I'm not wrong, is that the project itself is created by a few of us in the project team. But like after that, any edits to the information, we'd actually open it up to all syndicate members, because we feel that we don't want to be a bottleneck and say only a few people can edit it and do stuff. Like if you find something's off or something needs to be tweaked, we'd open that up, of course, to people, it gets logged and everything. But like time is key here, so you don't want people using wrong information, sending a note to somebody and doing stuff. So we trust everybody here. And if you go from here, so you'd say one of the cool features I like is this, right? So many times you look at a project and you're like, what's everybody else in the syndicate doing? Are you guys minting? Are you not minting? Do you like the project? So like you can go in here and start giving a community vote. And the minute you give this vote, it goes like +1, -1, whatever. And in a way, like these ones are like projects where, and I don't know how many people, like let's say only 2 votes here, but like as we release this, if everybody or more people in the community start saying, actually, I don't like this project, like you can almost see red flags instantly and say, should I be minting it? Should I not be minting it? But this is just a summary, right? What you then do is you take one of these projects, so let's say Tribe X, and then you follow it. It actually comes into your whitelist game. Now, in this construct, now this is your personalized list. You then can go in and say, okay, in this project, I have a whitelist. So yes, I have a whitelist. Great. Have I been assigned the role? And you can work through your Discord. Like these are not auto pulling, but like think of this as a tracker and say, did you get the whitelist role? No, I didn't. Oh, actually, now I've messaged on Discord. I've got the whitelist role, but I haven't submitted. And then what we've added is a capability here, which is if I go in here, we could even create links to. If I go here, I think to saying what's the URL or Discord channel or whatever for you to get your whitelist role added, or where should you submit your wallet. Again, this is not an end all to the construct, but it includes the key fields that we think are important to start with. And then I hopefully don't delete this. I want to say cancel. But what this does is it creates your single tracker of what are the whitelists you've got, when is it minting, and in a way, like it says, where you are in that process. And I like one of the features that Dumplings put in. You could actually go in and add it to a calendar, and it'll just go out and like add something to one of the calendars that you have. You could then work from there and do stuff. Again, first release of the whitelist game, but we will then start creating more constructs. So like just like you saw this community vote on the project, there would be almost a community construct here as well to say, like has anybody in the community added their wallet? And the minute that happens, people who are already whitelisted for the project, they might get alerts. That doesn't come in release 1, but like it just becomes easier to say wallet address submission is started. Here's where the role submission is happening. Is everybody minting? No, we decide to skip the mint and so forth. So that's where we are on the whitelist game. I think we'll decide when we're releasing it, but it'll either be late this week, early next week. We'll open this up to the community members. We've already started work. No, we will start work. Yep. Oh, sorry. The red exclamation was for projects which have a bad community score. So like if many people are not voting that project well, so like net a negative number, then they just get highlighted in red to say this doesn't have a good score. Are you sure you want to mint this or do something? All right. The next tool we'll work on once this is released is a P&L tracker, which allows you to say track when you bought something or when you've minted something. How much did you spend, including gas, on that, and then when you sell it off, how much did you make on it, so that at least you can start getting some sort of tracking for your active trades. Again, we haven't fully spec'd that out, but that's one area we're working on, or we'll start work on. And the next thing we'll start work on are Discord bots, which will help you understand an overview of the market, allow you to create personalized triggers on things which are happening or alerts that you want, and just an interface for you to go in and like get an update on the floor of a project or certain other activities around it and so forth. Again, the Discord bots will be an ongoing initiative where we will build a base bot, which is our own, like that will be Syndicate's bot, but we will then keep making custom functions in it over time. An example of that was somewhere. Sorry, can't find it. Maybe it was here. Yes, so we then keep trackers of like what we're building, what's interesting out there. I'll find it somewhere. Yeah, here. So like, this was an interesting one which I picked up from one of my other friends' project, but we'll do a similar bot which says create an alert for cyberkongs between the limit of like 9 and 10 ETH. Or, can you tell me when the volume on this project is going up? Show me top mention stuff. Again, we'll build the infrastructure for a bot, and then we will start building functionality in the bot. Okay, I will pause and see if there's any questions, things, comments, areas of feedback.
Yeah, this is lifted. I think that the whitelist game is huge. That's a big win for everybody in the community, because it's so hard to keep track of, what you're whitelisted for and kind of what the next steps are. And the calendar part is a great add as well. And I think you touched on right now that the team is are the only ones that can add new projects. Is that right?
Yeah, initially we'll have the projects added with like maybe 15-20 of us. We are also looking to source data through automated scrapers. But once a project is added, I think the field information can be updated by anybody.
So have we thought through a process yet for the community to suggest new projects to add for the team to filter through?
We haven't explicitly thought through that, but I think we are more or less inclined to have some sort. So what we may do is initially have like community reps who can be the point person where people can reach out and say, here's a new project, can you add it in? But we're also looking to scrape that information. So in a way, our scrapers should ideally pick up most new projects which are coming out.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's possible the scrapers miss it, but like, chances are most stuff like across 4 or 5 data sites, we'll find out something new which has come up.
I think it's an awesome tool. I do a lot of gathering the whitelists, and one of the biggest problems for me is mint times, trying to get it in local time. So I guess if it plugs into a calendar, that will convert to local time. But I don't know, is there any way to like just have the mint time in there that can be localized?
Hey,
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Who was it? Was that Rick? They should be displayed locally for you in tools in the site.
Nice.
I make sure to convert them into UTC, and then I localize on the floors displayed to you. So that countdown should be specific to you. And then if you want to know the exact time, you can just hover over the countdown, and it should show you the full date.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. I use an Excel spreadsheet, and I've got like 50 whitelists. Most of them are junk, but it's a full-time job trying to track them all. So I think this is going to be brilliant. And I think it was pretty cool that you mentioned. I think you said you had a Kanban, because I think one of the hardest things for people in their whitelist, and one of the things I found with Syndicate, is it's really slick in the way they're handled and using the pre-mint site and things, because a lot of the time you have no idea what to do. You get the notification you won, and then you see people wandering around other discords. What do I do? Do I log a ticket? So I think anything to, especially for whitelists from the Syndicate, anything that can indicate like what we have to do, even if it says do nothing, or provides insights into where you are in the process, just to let people know whether they should just leave it and just wait, or because there's sometimes you have to proactively on the other Discord log a ticket, and other times it gets all done for you. So I like that the process is really streamlined, and any way to like keep us up to date with where things are is going to be awesome.
This is one I can answer because we're like managing the whitelist process with Yakuza, and I started doing that like this week. For example, the whitelist we won, I created like special thread, like for example Antebellum whitelist. I created like a private thread with all the winners, and I make sure like with the project team, so Antebellum, what they needed to have. So basically it's for this project, it's a purple role named Valerian, and I pinged everyone and say, guys, you need to be on the Discord, check that you have the Valerian process, the Valerian role. And yeah, we're trying to have like a better follow-up on that, so you won't miss any other whitelist, because we had a few issues in the past weeks with some of the process was unclear with the team we were collaborating with. So right now we're like just moving on with that and trying to not miss anything.
Yeah, Antebellum was really good. Like I won that, and it was really good to see that. And like with Invisible Pets, I think people went over and sort of asked what to do, but Antebellum was like a great example. And I just had one last question. When you obviously you can go in there and you can enter the project and fill in the data, but when you had like community ratings and things, does that mean that it's entered in once and everyone, like the first person to enter it in, you can actually use a shared instance of that information with shared feedback?
Correct. So the community score is essentially, if you've heard of the site Product Hunt, or each person, each agent can vote up or down. And then what you see in that grid is the sentiment across the community, right? And so we had a suggestion for comments. That would be great. That has been discussed. That's probably not going to be in V1. I'll tell you that for now. But if there's overwhelming sentiment, then of course we can adjust. And then Ons touched on this earlier, in which the individual steps in the whitelist game view, when you see one whitelist, got the role, minted especially, what might make it into V1, depending on how much I sleep in the next few nights, is a community count. So like you said, you'll be able to see of the projects that you're in, what other agents have gotten the role or have submitted their wallets. And it should be a good score if you know that you won a whitelist, but then 0 people have actually minted, right, or even submitted the wallet. And what might be even better is if we show you the percentage of the people who won the whitelist, this many people progressed this far into the funnel, right?
Yep. So with say you get whitelists from other projects, like there's a lot of projects that do it really well, like Habibis and NanoPass and things. What would the process be for adding whitelists to the, like, should you just, what I mean is, like, can you just check if someone's already entered it and let just add it automatically, or would everybody individually add any projects that they've been whitelisted for themselves?
Yeah.
So I think
sorry, go ahead, Ons.
Yeah, so I think we'll definitely allow for projects to be added, so that it's not a list of only projects from Syndicate. I think the only thing we want to control is we don't want to get duplicates of a project, right? Because that just makes the whole data set messy. So I think we'll just figure out the best way on how a new project gets added, and if it's missing, who to reach out to. But once the project ID is set up, then, like I said, the information can be edited by anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was meaning. Is like if someone's already been whitelisted, then I don't have to set it up. I can just do a search or start typing in, or I can see a list and just select and add that project to my whitelist because someone's already done it. Someone's maybe is allowed to
Yeah.
add them, and so we don't get duplications. We can all share it and we can share the feedback. So that was my last question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the way we've architected it is the project is one project across all of Syndicate, right? Then when you follow it, the steps are unique to you in a way, and hopefully later when we add comments and stuff, they'll be unique to you as well. Okay, any other? I think there was another question, no Mike, around the site, the tool site replacing the tools found on Google Sheet. Yeah, I think that's the objective. I mean, the Google Sheet was meant to be a quick start off, but we want to make it into a full-fledged web app.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I got the spreadsheet from the first one we used. While I was just like putting all the info of all my whitelists, I added a column that says like max minting, like how many mints can a whitelisted can get for that project. Maybe that can be added to the to this whitelist project. And the other thing is that will there be? Can we see who put the whitelist if information of each project? Like if I put, I don't know, for example, I put a PXN whitelist information of the project. Does it appears like Bitdouch put that information, or it's just anonymous? Why I'm asking this because if I see that someone puts the information of a whitelist into this project space, I can like go to him and ask him like, hey, how do you get whitelist? What do you do? Get maybe some information from him to help me out, or is it going to be anonymous?
So I think currently, I'm not. I mean, my understanding is we may not be storing who has added in the project, but in a way, what you're really interested in is not the project. You're interested in which is the user who's got whitelisted, right? Because the minute in the second step of the process where you start ticking I've got a whitelist role or I've been whitelisted, that is actually done at a user level already today. So we may figure out a way in which we can find who all is whitelisted and maybe bring that up. It's not in the current release, but that information is still captured.
Okay, and you got the comment about the max mint information? Like you get one list, but how many mints can you
do? So we have a longer list of fields that we want to add. Max mint is one of them, and there are a bunch of other fields in it. What may help actually, and I've just put this in no mic, is I've actually created a open board where under various categories, if people can start giving feedback and ideas and things, we can then start figuring out which of those are there, what should we think about, and so forth. Like, this can just actually be the one place where you give us feedback and do things, and then we could then bring that back in and say, which release can we bring that in.
Yeah, Hans, if I may, BT, actually, so this might just be an issue of UI design. If you go to the whitelist game and then you scroll right, you should see per transaction and per wallet. So we do currently store a max per transaction and per wallet. Maybe it's just not obvious enough, and I should be better at design.
Yeah, well actually, you got a hard time like seeing. It was in full screen. It was too little the letter, so I couldn't read it like properly. I just thought that it was the same as the spreadsheet, but you got already, that's perfect. And
Oh,
also,
okay.
if you add like at the end, the last column, some notes. Maybe someone wants to put a note on it. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
personalized notes are definitely an important thing because people will write something or do something which needs to come through. Um, Again, I think the idea was to say start with something and let people use the tool and say what else is missing so that we can then start baking that in.
perfect. Listen, thank you.
And again, like feel free to use that word to give us feedback. I'll put Lifted on the spot here. He and I just spoke yesterday. He'd actually volunteered to help out with some of these things. I'll work with him, and we'll bring him into the team as well as we do this. But he can actually help us with some of the consolidation of feedback and things that come through from the community as well.
Yeah, look forward to helping out. I mean, that's kind of what I do currently in real life job. Currently work for a bank as a project manager and pretty much a liaison between the devs on the tech side and the clients on the business side. So in this case, you guys would be my clients as the users. So I can more than happy to be the point of contact for all the feedback.
Okay, what else? What else do we have on people's minds?
Lifted is the GOAT, greatest of all time.
Sorry, say Hate.
I was just saying Lifted is the GOAT. How are you doing, guys?
Nice.
Yeah.
Hate, you need to get a better mic, dude. It's very hard to hear you.
I know, I can imagine.
It's his potato hand. His potato hand's in the
Yeah.
way.
Bro, I've been out for like 3 days. That's what it is. I mean, more since the fight.
Hopefully, look, I think dumplings and critters and Mexkidder, I think he's not here, but have done a great job of actually piecing this together as well. The idea is for us to build momentum and actually start bringing out tools that you can start using. They may not be perfect on day one. The idea is to build this together, but it should allow you to do something and make it usable from day one, right? And I think that's what we focused on. So, would love to hear more feedback. We are still getting a rhythm around the dev work and everything, but like a lot of heavy lifting has already been done, and like excited to bring more products to everybody.
So, besides the whitelist, the whitelist space, have we talked something about? I think we talked about it when the BBs went out, that it was sold out. It was bought it. Have we thought of something like a minting bot or something? I don't know. I I think you just mentioned it, but not on a deeply state. I don't know if you have something in your mind of.
Yeah, so I think I think we want to look at it in two, three stages, right? One is getting a minting bot either built for us rather than actually getting it as a service, because I think King and I spoke about it. If we try and get a bot which is available to everybody, we may end up paying a lot more. It might be better to actually spec out and build one ourselves. So we still in early stages of that portion of it. I have had experience with minting bots, and I can tell you they seem great on paper, but they're not that simple. I mean, even the ones which were used for like minting out Azukis and stuff, like the DGen bot and everything, a lot of people who got excited, got their subscription, paid a reasonable amount of money, eventually ended up canceling those services because they had reasonable failure rate as well. So I think we'll have to figure out a model on how, even if we build the bot, how does the community use it? Because imagine if we build a bot and like 40 people in the community try to hit it the same time at the same item, it may actually cause everybody to get messed up and so forth, right? So I think there's some nuances to that as well that need to be thought through. And then somebody will actually need to be monitoring gas, the transaction code, and a bunch of other stuff at that time for it to work. Like for me, if I don't know if it's possible, like the coolest idea would be a minting bot as a service, i.e., a bunch of people in the syndicate say, I'm interested in this mint. And then like somebody actually brings that together and does that for you. Of course, if it works, great. If it fails, great. Like it's whatever. But like it may be better than like a lot of people trying to mint it all themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
There was an Asian group maybe a couple months ago that was doing exactly that.
Was that the one which were using the degen bot or one of the other ones?
No, but you would basically send them. They would have like a Google spreadsheet of sorts, and then they would tell you how much the cost is on the public mint. You would send them the money, and they would just mint out a bunch of them. I mean, I think I forgot those. Remember those eggs?
Yep.
They bought out like I don't know how many, some ridiculous amounts, and they did that with another collection, and then they ended up having to stop that because the people were just so upset that they were like minting out collections by like 1,000 or so.
Yeah, I think
They're like,
that's
I remember there were a green X.
okay. Oh, was it the one which was like 712? Like,
Yes, that's it.
yeah, I know them. I actually had a subscription to them, but yeah, I heard they specifically stopped their minting bots because they got like really hit on that.
Yeah, people got pissed because of the way they were doing it because they were getting things so cheap. Somebody really knew their stuff with contracts, and they were minting directly through contracts and just getting a ton of supply.
Okay, so I guess we'll find a middle ground which works without like getting people messed up as well. But I think what we're also looking to do is start bringing in information on secondary transactions, so that we can say like what are holders of Azuki buying today, what is, which are the items where volume is starting to rise, and like I'm actually part of a bunch of Discord groups which do that well. Some do it for tokens, some do it for NFTs. But like one of the problems I see sometimes is when you start tracking whale wallets or some other stuff, you just get a dump of information which is like not really meaningful because nobody's going to spend hours looking through it, right? Like, so we'll look at how do we take that data and actually come out with something which is like a meaningful report that you can track or follow a little more closely. Any other thoughts, ideas, like people excited about this, not excited? Hopefully, there's only one right answer, remember? Everybody's super excited about this.
Super mega giga excited. Let's go.
I mean, it sounds good.
I'm excited. I'm always excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys always get me excited. What can I say?
That's the perfect answer, bro.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Looks great.
it's an awesome tool, since I think most of us got a lot of projects, and it's a lot of trouble to keep track of them. And actually, Better Discord has to do something about organizing the servers, because the plugin that they have it ain't enough. So this will help, all of us a lot. And I think this can be like just launch it as it is and start just adding more perks to it. I think that will be awesome. And Also, if just to give the mic to someone else, it'll be awesome if like the new guys can hang more in the DC channel. We have been there. I think like four or five of us there, and we have shared a lot of alpha, a lot of information, and a lot of servers that can help the syndicate and us. So just a shout out to you all guys. That don't be shy. Like we always help each other. We are always polite, and are very glad to help everybody as much as we can, and just like give the experience we have in the actual kind of a ending bearish market and kind of a starting bullish market. You know, hang in there and talk with us, and we can help you out with any questions you may have.
Actually, I agree, guys. Like, literally, usually before I got like fucking in a fight, we usually hang a lot in VC. So just like hop in if you see us there, even if you don't see us, hop in and maybe someone will hop. So this is always the easiest way to just communicate because you're doing work in the side, and it's pretty good to just like you can talk and not interrupt your work at the same time. You know, guys. So VC is very helpful.
Okay, if there aren't any more questions on this, we can still hang around here and talk about any other topic, but like last chance to ask about anything on the arsenal or anything that we've been doing.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys already talked about this because I joined in pretty late, but about that there was like that minting tool thing. Is that out? Hold up, I saw it
No.
earlier. Oh, it's not out. Okay.
No, we don't have a minting one yet.
It was like
Sorry, there's
yeah. Never mind.
The other thing is that I have been in some servers, some projects, and I have seen that maybe we can have an opportunity to get more whitelist giveaways for the syndicate. Some of them have asked me like, "Hey, you're from Syndicate 893. Like, can you help me out? Do a collab with you guys? Like, give you whitelist and maybe do an AMA or else." So I know it's hard for you guys to do it because all the pre-mint and all this. It's not that easy as everybody thinks that it is. But actually, one of my guys that one of my friends that I told him about the syndicate. He's right now in this voice channel. He's the founder of one of the whitelist channel servers, and he usually does a lot of collabs with a lot of projects. Not all. Obviously, we all know that not all of them are good, but you never know which one might be a blue chip, and he has very interesting market because it's an Asian market, mainly Hong Kong, and it's Mark, and he has been doing a lot of collab, and actually founders have been contacting me that to do some. So I'm like, don't know what to do next, like who to contact or what to do or what to bring. Like we will say, like get well listed and then see if you mint or not. But get well listed. You never know which one might do good. So I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that. Like, how can we help you guys to make it easier for you and to help you out?
So basically, for the whitelist process, I'm the one ending that with Yakuza, and as you said, we don't want to have like all the project and with the collaboration because there are like some who's gonna you can directly tell they're not good or they're gonna be a cash grab. But if you feel that okay, this project worth it, you can just either ping us on the Discord or open a DM with the project founders, and we're gonna take care of that like in the shadow. We're talking with them, like setting up the collaboration, how many whitelist spots they're gonna give, and then I can set up the AMAs. But that's basically that. But this question came a lot this week, and I'm actually like writing a process tutorial. A process tutorial for the whitelist process, so everyone can have that in mind.
Yeah. Like it has to be meshed out. Not all the projects are good, and what we need to do is just. My idea is to bring as much as we can, and then use you guys like the pros. You can mesh it out. Like you can mesh, like take away the bad ones. Like hey, now this is wrong or well. So.
Also, the goal is for it like to educate like all the agents, and then you can say directly, okay, this is not going to be a good project, and or this one's going to be a great one. But yeah, like I think the tech should be like the tutorial should be out like today, because just right after I'm gonna head to bed, but I'll do that in the day.
Yeah, like sorry to like get to make this much time, but what I do right now is I get these good servers or good potential projects from other alpha groups. Like they have been talking about like this maybe 5 or 6 projects of the week, like that. Those ones are the ones that I want to bring to the syndicate, and maybe get a shield template to contact them and to see if we can get whitelist, and just that can be help. That can be a lot of help, like for you guys to avoid to get shitty projects that are shit. So basically that's it.
So I guess maybe on the whitelist side, right? Like maybe people could sync with Atom Boy. I think he'll come out to the process anyway on what's the best way to connect with the team and set that up, and then we can go from there.
Yep, definitely, because the question like came 3 or 4 times this week since like we had the new agent. So I'll write that down, make a sweet process.
Nice. On no mic I put something in to say ideas I have for like being able to automate stuff on bots. Like if you said search, like one of the things is like search for a project, you should be able to search from Discord. Like ideally, if we can create in such a way that you don't have to leave the Discord to go to different places to get an answer, then it becomes quite powerful.
Maybe once maybe you wanna tell the new members, the new agents that are in here what we try to do. Like Adam says, like we want to get whitelist for medium to top projects and not like shitty ones, because in other alphas it's impressive how many whitelists they got from like all kinds of projects, and that's not like the way we do. So we do it more like quality besides rather than quantity. Just to let the new agents that it's gonna be better quality than other alphas.
Right, I think like I don't see any other question in the no mic nor the boardroom, so I guess we can close that up. And guys, like new agents, if you have any question, just like open voice chat or type them in the boardroom. There's always like someone who's gonna be ready to chat with you and answer the question, and there's no dumb questions. So this is like a new space, a lot of new information. Just ask when you have a question, and that's how we'll grow together.
Yeah, and this is not a thing for you to leave now. You could actually stick around and talk to people.
Yep.
This is just that this meeting's over.
Yeah.